Welcome back to Campfire Tales, where the fire burns low and the night spins stories that chill your soul. I'm your host, drawing you close to the campfire to unravel tales that stalk the shadows. Tonight, we delve into the ominous tale of the Black Dog, a ghost story woven from spectral hounds whose eyes foretell doom. What lurks on a moonlit cliff? Let's face the terror together. Settle in, but don't meet its gaze. In Connecticut's hanging hills, where jagged cliffs loomed over Meriden like silent sentinels, Thomas, a geologist in his early 50s, trekked with his weathered journal, its pages filled with sketches of ancient strata. Raised in New Haven, he'd heard tales from a grizzled ranger about the Black Dog of Hanging Hills, a spectral hound from the 1800s said to bring joy on the first sighting, a sorrow on the second, and death on the third. Thomas, grounded in science but charmed by folklore, dismissed it as a yarn, yet the hill's eerie quiet stirred his blood. One October dusk, as fog curled like ghostly fingers, the air thick with pine, damp stone, and a faint acrid whiff of charred earth, his boots crunched on frost-bitten leaves. A low growl rumbled, not the wind but something alive, slithering through the mist. His flashlight beam trembled, catching two glowing eyes, red, unblinking, in the haze, a small black dog perched on a rocky outcrop, its gaze piercing his core. His breath hitched, heart thudding against his ribs, but curiosity held him, the eyes vanishing into the fog, leaving a chill that lingered like a warning. Days later, the growl returned, deeper, more insistent, the cliff's shadows sharper under a moon choked by clouds. Thomas, mapping a new ridge, felt a prickle on his neck, as if the hills themselves watched. His flashlight flickered, its beam weak, catching the black dog again, larger now, its fur matted like burnt coal, eyes burning like embers along the cliff's edge. The ranger's words, second sighting, beware, clawed at his mind, but he pressed on, the trail narrowing, rocks skittering underfoot like whispered threats. The growl hummed, Thomas, his name a guttural echo woven into the wind's howl, sending a shiver down his spine. He scribbled in his journal, hands shaking, the ink smudging as if the dog's gaze bled through the pages. The mist thickened, a suffocating shroud, the air heavy with a metallic tang like blood on stone. The cliffs seemed to shift, their edges crumbling, the path twisting into a maze. His pulse raced, doubt creeping in. Was this real, or was his mind unraveling? The fog pulsed, the dog's silhouette flickering, its eyes never leaving him, a weight pressing his chest. On his third hike, the air turned frigid, the growl swelling into a snarl that shook the stones beneath his feet. Thomas, driven by a mix of defiance and dread, climbed higher, the cliffs looming like jagged teeth. The black dog appeared, massive now, its form swallowing the light, eyes molten, trailing him through the fog, its steps silent but heavy, like a heartbeat in the earth. Its growl seemed more a roar, a blade in his mind, conjuring visions of his own grave, dirt piling over him, worms writhing, darkness closing in. He ran, the cliff's edge splintering, rocks slicing his palms, blood mixing with frost, the pain sharp but drowned by terror. The mist tightened like a noose, the dog's gaze burning into his skull, his thoughts fraying. Every shadow was its form, every sound its growl. His lungs burned, each breath a struggle, the visions intensifying, his body broken at the cliff's base, eyes staring blankly. Thomas stumbled, a loose stone underfoot. Must be careful, he reminded himself as he ran. The dog's eyes seemed closer, unrelenting. Thomas' foot caught another loose stone, twisting his ankle. His screams tore through the fog, merging with a faint snarl on the wind. The hills fell silent once more, save for a faint howl. Hikers found Thomas the next day, his body broken from a fall at the cliff's base. They say the black dog still prowls the hanging hills, waiting for the doomed to cross his path. That's the ominous tale of the Black Dog, rooted in American folklore. Born in tales of spectral hounds that herald death, it warns of dangers where doom stalks the unwary. In East Anglian folklore, a chilling tale haunts the windswept moors near Bungay. The Black Shuck's gaze tells of Ellen, a content creator in her late 20s from Norfolk, who chased England's ghostly legends for her channel. At a weathered pub, an old farmer spun tales of the Black Shuck, a massive dog with fiery eyes, a 16th century omen whose gaze brought death to those it met on lonely paths. Ellen, her curiosity outweighing her skepticism, ventured to the moors under a moon smothered by clouds, her video camera in hand, the air thick with heather, salt, and a sour rot that stung her nostrils. As midnight struck, a low growl rumbled through the fog that prickled Ellen's skin like needles. Her pulse quickened, but her passion for a viral video drove her deeper, her boots sinking into the boggy earth, the moor's silence heavy, like a breath held too long. The growl deepened, a snarl curling through the air, the fog so dense it clung to her face like a damp shroud. Ellen's camera hissed, capturing only static. A massive shape loomed, the Black Shuck, its fur a void darker than the night, eyes like molten coals, pacing silently across the moor. The farmer's warning, its gaze kills, echoed, but her camera light dimmed, its beam swallowed by the mist. She stumbled back, the moor shifting, paths dissolving into a mire that sucked at her boots. The Shuck's eyes locked onto hers, burning through her mind, conjuring memories, her brother's accident, blood on asphalt, her own voice screaming into the void. The growl swelled, the air choking with dread, her heart hammering as if it might burst. She ran, thorns tearing her legs, blood seeping through her jeans, the moor's grasses hissing like a chorus of whispers. The fog thickened, the Shuck trailing her, its gaze a weight that pressed her thoughts into chaos. Every rustle was its step, every shadow its form. Ellen's breath came in gasps, the moor's cold seeping into her bones, the snarl now a constant drone. Her mind spiraled, paranoia creeping in. Was the path looping, or was she lost? Memories flooded harder, her failures, her guilt, each one a knife twisted by the Shuck's eyes. She tripped into a ditch, pain flaring, the mud pulling at her like a living thing. The fog pulsed, the Shuck's silhouette closer, its eyes glowing like twin fires, unrelenting. She clawed forward, her camera slipping into the mire. Visions of her death, cold, alone, the moor her grave, overwhelmed her, her sanity fraying as she saw herself sinking, forgotten. Her cries merged with the snarl, her body sinking, the fog swallowing her as if she'd never been. The moors fell silent, save for a faint growl. Locals found only her camera, broken and caked with mud, on the path. Locals still warn of the Black Shuck's eyes burning in the night. Why do these tales endure? It's the dread of spectral eyes that bind you to doom. From Connecticut's cliffs to East Anglia's moors, black dogs stalk the lost, warning them of their impending doom. That's all for tonight's Campfire Tales. If these stories made you fear shadowed hounds, share them in the comments or tell us a ghostly tale from your hometown. Next time, we'll unravel the foreboding tale of the crow's warning, a legend that'll make you dread the winged shadows. Until then, keep the fire burning and avoid black dogs you don't know.